So VeChain is right now, as I'm speaking, at a very critical level here for the bulls. If we break this one to the downside, we could have some bearish times ahead. However, if we see buyers stepping up here, which it looks like we might be getting here a little bounce, then we definitely have lots of upside potential. So in this video, we have some very interesting data to cover. So yeah guys, we are once again back with VeChain. We will as always do a technical analysis as well as a price prediction. We will identify some very important levels on the downside, for example this upsloping line right here, but we will also take a look at the upside scenario and what to pay attention to on the upside. So if you think that sounds interesting, make sure to really pay attention during this video, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. But first, as always, real quick before we start, I just want to mention that if you guys are interested in more similar content, I do technical analysis on, for example, VeChain, Cardano, Ethereum, and more. Don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And also guys, if you hit that blue like button, that would be so awesome. It really helps out this community to grow, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm to push out more VeChain content to more people. So guys, a like would be so awesome. Also, if you want to, you can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to be very active on both of these platforms. And last but not least, I have to give a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video is financial advice. But alright, now let's take a look at VeChain here, and especially take a look at this wedge pattern. So what has happened recently? Well, if you have been following my updates, you know that in my opinion, we have been trading in a wedge looking pattern. And what is that? Well, you can see that we're making consecutive lower highs, right? So lower high, lower high, lower high. And at the same time, we're making higher lows. So you can see that the range is sort of getting squeezed here and getting smaller and smaller. And one thing that happened right here, you can see just 2 days ago on April 20, we actually broke out of this wedge real quick here. However, sellers did step up at this level at around $0.267. That was a level that we talked about in my previous VeChain technical analysis video. So we did get a reaction at that level and fall back into the wedge. And since then, we have been seeing a fall. From the high to low here, we have been seeing a significant fall of almost 20%. And what we do have to mention today is that Bitcoin is having a pretty hard time. You know, the crypto market overall is having a pretty rough time. It's a bit mixed feelings, but VeChain is actually underperforming in general so far. If we zoom out here to the daily time frame, it looks pretty chaotic here, but we have been having recently lots of ups and downs. You can see red, green, red, green, red. So lots of like indecision candles here. The market doesn't really know what to do next. And I think personally that this wedge pattern can play a big role here in where VeChain will go next. So a pretty critical moment here. And if you are a VeChain bull, what you really don't want to see is that this wedge gets broken here to the downside. Then we might have some, you know, dark times ahead. One thing you can notice here if we pop up the RSI is that for a long time here, pretty much the whole April, we have been overbought, and now the RSI have been reset and we are not overbought anymore. So if we actually reverse here to the upside, then we definitely have lots of space to run. So that can be a bullish sign depending on how you look at it. But alright guys, so I think we are soon ready to take a look at some key support and resistance levels. But real quick before doing that, I want to mention a few things. The first thing I want to mention, and that I actually want to point out in every single video, is that guys, please be aware that we have lots of bot accounts and scammers in the comments. They are all over crypto YouTube. They often try to give you a WhatsApp number, a Telegram or something like that. So guys, never answer to these people and never give anyone your information. Another very important thing is that when you see me comment, if you don't see this gray thing around my name, then you know it's not me. So always look out for this gray thing around my name. If that's not there, then you know it's an impersonator. I can also mention here, I'm getting a lot of questions what trading software I use for all my technical analysis. That trading software is called TradingView, and it has a very nice free version. And if you want to sign up, I have a special link for that if you look at the pinned comment, the top comment, or in the description below. But if you use that link to sign up for free and then later on decide to get a pro or premium version, then I will get a small commission from that, and at the same time time you can get up to a $30 bonus. So if you're interested in TradingView, make sure to sign up. But alright, so now let's jump back into the charts. And let's start here by taking a look at some important levels on the downside. And the first obvious important level I'm looking out for was the one we talked about in the intro here. It is this upsloping purple line. And why do I think this one is important? Well, this line actually starts from all the way back here on April 12. You can see that we saw buyers stepping up right there on April 12. But we have been seeing multiple bounces at this level. You can see right here, April 16, another time here, April 18. And today we actually almost went down to this level, and we are right now seeing some buyers stepping up. However, we have a lot to go of this candle, almost 3 hours. So this will be very interesting to see if this one can hold. If we break this one to the downside, then it starts to look a bit bearish here. But the first sort of horizontal level I'm looking out for is all the way down at around 0.189. Why do I think this one is important? Well, you can see that previously this one acted as resistance. This was at around April 15. Then we broke this one and saw a very strong impulse to the upside. However, the bears took control, but then we once again found support at this level. So previous resistance flipped and became support, a very common principle in trading. So I would not be surprised if we see some buyers stepping up at that level once again, if we eventually fall down there. Another possible line, you can see this white line right here, is a possible one. I don't think that one is too significant yet because we only have 1-2 touches, but it is one you could pay attention to. If we get a third touch here, then it starts definitely to be some significant, demand line right there. However, if the bears manage to push through all of these three, what am I looking out for then? Well, then you have a zone all the way down here at around 0.155 to 0.147. This is one I'm paying attention to. Why? Well, you can see that this zone acted as resistance. We broke this one, flipped previous resistance to support 1 time, 2 times. So I would not be surprised if we see buyers stepping up there once again if we push all the way down there. But alright guys, so how about the upside? If we actually manage to bounce here, what am I looking out for? Well, the first obvious one is the upper line of this wedge pattern. So as you can see, this one have been acting as support multiple times, starting here on April 17 1 time, April 19 another time, April 20 another time. So we'll not be surprised if we see some selling pressure. If we bounce, wouldn't be surprised if we see some selling pressure coming in at around that area. But the next sort of major thing, if we break this one to the upside, is this zone here at in between 0.267 to 0.278. And this is a very key area. Why? Well, you can see it comes from the high. We printed here the all-time high right there on April 17. And then we saw 2 bounces at the lower line as well. So this is a very key area that I'm definitely looking out for. And if even this one breaks to the upside, then in this whole area we don't really have any resistance at all. So one thing you can get some targets is that you measure how large is the swing here. So how large is the wedge? You use your Fibonacci tool and you will get that your Fibonacci extension, your Fibonacci 1.618 level, is at this 0.345 US dollar level. So that is one way to get a target if we push through here. Another thing you can use is that you can use your 100% measure move. And what is that? Well, you measure how large is the triangle. You take that measurement, and then depending on where you break out, you do you measure from there. So if you, for example, break out here, then the 100% measure move would take us a bit higher than the 1.618 level. So this is a method you can use to get some nice targets. But alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you feel like you got any kind of help or value, then please consider dropping a like. And if you guys are interested in more similar content, then don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope I will catch you in the next video. But for now guys, take care. Ciao ciao.